Hello and welcome to History and Facts, where we discover facts about days through the year. Please remember to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Today we are looking at August 23rd through the years. Here are some important days tied to August 23rd road. International Day for Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition, along with European Black Ribbon Day for the victims of totalitarian regimes. On a lighter note, it is also known for National Cuban Sandwich Day and National Sponge Cake Day. Let's grab a brew, grab a cake, and let's dive in with Number 1. Helen leaves Egypt. For over 3 centuries, Egypt stood as a beacon of Hellenistic culture. But by late August, 30 BCE, that legacy was slipping away. Cleopatra had retreated to her mausoleum, Antony's forces were dissolving, and Rome's rising star, Octavian, was closing in. By August 12, the city of Alexandria had submitted. No grand assault, no climactic charge, Octavian didn't need theatrics. The war was already over, Egypt simply hadn't realized it yet. In the days that followed, Octavian solidified control. Cleopatra's surviving children were removed from power, escorted to Rome under watchful eyes. Caesarion, her eldest son with Julius Caesar, was discreetly dispatched, seen as a political risk to Octavian's claim. With no rivals left to challenge him, Octavian focused on securing Egypt's wealth, grain, and strategic ports. It was no longer a kingdom, it was a resource. Then, on August 23, Octavian made it official. Egypt was declared a Roman province, placed directly under his authority. Not shared, not debated, just claimed. And so, with no clash of swords, the last glimmer of the Hellenistic era in Egypt was quietly signed over to the dominion of the Roman Empire. Number 2, Pompeii's warning. For weeks, the mountain had murmured. Tremors rippled beneath the soil, unnoticed by many or dismissed as routine. In Pompeii and Herculaneum, life moved on, markets bustled, villas hosted lavish feasts, and the shadow of Vesuvius loomed like scenery, not a threat. But the signs were gathering. Wells began to dry. Animals grew restless. Some locals whispered of the ground feeling different. The scholar Pliny the Elder took note. In letters that would survive for centuries, his nephew Pliny the Younger later described strange cloud formations above the peak, massive, shifting, unnatural. These were not signs of weather, but something ancient waking up. The mountain was no longer silent, it was clearing its throat. Then came the morning of August 24th. The quiet ended. A column of ash shot miles into the air, darkness swept over the coast, and the final day of Pompeii began. The warning had been there all along. It was just written in a language few were ready to read. Number 3, the end of emperors. August 23, 476. The Western Roman Empire is a shadow. Its armies fractured. Its emperors forgettable. Then comes Odoacer, not Roman, not imperial, but ready. He leads a revolt. Not for glory, but for land, promised by Orestes, denied to the federate troops who made his son Romulus Augustulus emperor. The soldiers turn to Odoacer. He delivers. On this day, they proclaim him king of Italy. Not Caesar, not Augustus. Just king. The Roman Senate nods. The Eastern Emperor Zeno hesitates, then grants him the title patrician. Odoacer sends the imperial regalia east, a quiet signal, the West is done. 5 days later, Orestes is removed from power in Placentia. 1 week later, Romulus would follow, the same fate, forcibly removed from power. No fanfare, no coronation, just the close of an empire. Odoacer governs from Ravenna. Some Roman institutions remain. But Rome's Western Empire has fallen into history. Number 4, a Pope's Gambit. For decades, southern Italy had been carved by ambition. The Byzantines waned, the Lombards scattered, and the Normans, foreign, uninvited, unstoppable, were rising. By August of 1059, Pope Nicholas II saw the writing on the map. If Rome wanted influence, it couldn't stand alone. So he went to Melfi, not to preach, but to deal. Robert Guiscard arrived armored in conquest, Richard of Capua with titles and teeth. They weren't saints, they were soldiers. But they held the ground Rome couldn't reach. The pact came quickly. On paper, it was diplomacy. Robert Guiscard named Duke of Apulia and Calabria, Count of Sicily. Richard secured his claims in Capua. Both bowed, in words, to papal authority. But under that parchment lay a bargain: protection for power, legitimacy for loyalty. The Pope traded spiritual distance for temporal control. The Normans traded rebellion for right to rule. And so, southern Italy didn't shift, it was rebranded. Rome hadn't conquered it. It had co-opted it. The Church had its warriors. And the Normans had something stronger than swords: blessings. And so the Treaty of Melfi was signed. Number 5. Groningen's legacy. For centuries, students from Groningen had to travel abroad, to Paris, Bologna, or Cologne, to study theology, law, or medicine. But in 1614, that changed. On August 23, the University of Groningen was founded by the Regional Council of Groningen and the Amelanden. Housed in a former convent, it opened with just 6 professors and 4 faculties: theology, law, medicine, and philosophy. Its first rector, Odoacer, envisioned more than a school. He saw a beacon of scholarship in the north. And it worked. Over the centuries, its alumni have shaped the world. Jan Oort, 1917 to 1926, began his studies in astronomy in 1917 and earned his PhD in 1926. He went on to chart the structure of the Milky Way and proposed the existence of the Oort cloud, a theoretical reservoir of comets surrounding our solar system. Odoacer, 1960s–1978, studied physics and mathematics before earning a PhD in nuclear physics. He became the first Dutch astronaut and a vocal advocate for sustainable energy and space innovation. Ben Feringa, 1969–1978, pursued chemistry at Groningen, receiving his MSc in 1974 and PhD in 1978. He later won the Nobel Prize for his work on molecular machines, opening a new frontier in nanotechnology. Today, the University of Groningen stands as one of the oldest operating universities in the Netherlands, a testament to the city's commitment to learning, and to a legacy that continues to shape science, exploration, and progress. Number 6. Earthrise from the orbiter. On August 23, 1966, NASA's Lunar Orbiter 1 transmitted the first-ever image of Earth taken from lunar orbit. Originally designed to scout potential landing sites for the Apollo program, the spacecraft was directed to photograph Earth during its sweeping pass over the Moon. The result was a black and white image showing Earth as a distant crescent, fragile, isolated, and hanging in the void. This marked a turning point in space exploration and in human perception. Seeing Earth from the Moon reshaped the way scientists, philosophers, and everyday people thought about their place in the cosmos. This image became a foundational moment for planetary consciousness and environmental thought, predating the famous Apollo 8 Earthrise photo by 2 years. Lunar Orbiter 1 captured the vision first, and changed the narrative forever. Number 7. The beginning of the end. Blogger launches and the web finds its voice. Before smartphones, viral videos, and influencers, there was Blogger. Launched on August 23, 1999, it changed the internet's trajectory. Online publishing had been the domain of coders, tangled in HTML, servers, and complex interfaces. Blogger stripped that all away, giving everyday people a direct path to write, share, and be heard. It was more than a tool. It was a shift in mindset. Suddenly, the web wasn't just something you visited, it was something you contributed to. This wasn't just a milestone for blogging. It was a quiet revolution that laid the cultural groundwork for MySpace, Instagram, and TikTok, platforms built on the idea that personal expression powers connection. Blogger proved that you didn't need a media company to publish. You just needed a platform. In hindsight, it wasn't just early, it was prophetic. With one launch on an unassuming August day, the internet began to tilt, from passive browsing to active participation, from silence to signal. And the world hasn't stopped posting since. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed your visit to History and Facts. If you did enjoy the video, or find it interesting, we have many more coming. So please like, comment, and subscribe to be notified when we release a new video. See you next time.